SolidWorks 2015 has several enhancements for patterns to make creation, documentation, and flexibility much easier. Let's take a look at this linear bearing rail. Now these can be purchased in any length you want, but when I change the length of this rail, you can see that the pattern fails. This is because a number of instances failed to cut the part. Now, there's a new option in the linear pattern feature that is similar to the equal spacing option in the circular pattern and allows for intelligent patterns that use reference geometry to automatically update the spacing or instance counts. Simply choose the up to reference and optionally an offset from that reference. For this model, we can use an equation to match the offset from the other end. Enter the pattern spacing, and that's it. Now, if I change the length of the rail, the number of instances changes intelligently, honoring the reference and offset. But it doesn't stop there. Sometimes you just want to have a fixed number of instances equally spaced along the model without regard to the spacing. Just enter the number of instances and the spacing is adjusted to fit, and this honors the end reference and offset as well. This new capability of the linear pattern is a real time saver. Next, sometimes it's necessary to work with bodies as opposed to features. For instance, this carbide sawtooth should be a separate body so we can get an accurate count in the cut list. When I choose not to merge the tooth to the blade, the pattern fails. No longer is it necessary to delete the pattern and create a new one. Now, feature or face patterns can be changed to a body pattern and vice versa. This can really help out when downstream features are impacted by the pattern. Another enhancement is the instance count for fill patterns. Now, SolidWorks reports the number of instances that exist in the fill pattern. In cases where instances overlap each other, the instance count can be validated to ensure the proper count is reported. This instance count is reported as a read-only dimension in the graphics area, and if changes are made, the value is updated. More importantly, it's available on a drawing and can be referenced in notes. This information is critical for manufacturing engineers to get accurate counts for fabrication. Finally, a new type of pattern is available, the variable pattern. This ultra-flexible pattern allows users to vary any dimensions that are used in feature creation, but also allows the use of reference geometry, like planes, axes, and 3D sketches, that may have been used to create that feature. This reference geometry is important to define the design intent of features that are on non-planar faces. And all this flexibility can be controlled in an easy-to-use table or directly on screen. Let's take a look at a simple example. We want to pattern the slot around the colander, but we want to vary the length and offset. This can be done in SolidWorks 2014, but requires a lot of interaction while inside of the command to manually override each of the instances. With the new variable pattern, this is simple. Select the feature to pattern, any reference geometry that may be used to drive the seed, and create a pattern table. Let's add just one instance and define the dimensions that we want to control. Named features and dimensions help to identify what is being controlled. We want 20 slots, so our angle will be 18 degrees. Every other slot will have a larger offset and be shorter, so we'll set these to 25 millimeters. A handy preview is available during creation to help with visualization. That looks good. Let's add 18 more instances, and just like Excel, we can drag these two cells to auto-populate the rest. Copy and paste is available as well to help duplicate information in a table, or this could be pasted into Excel, modified, then pasted back into the table. Update the preview, and that looks perfect. Each instance is listed in the Feature Manager under the Variable Pattern feature and can be individually controlled on the screen. An instance can easily be skipped by suppressing it. and deleting the instance will remove it from the table. The variable pattern is a very powerful new feature of SolidWorks 2015, so let's take a look at some other examples. This feature uses a sketch pattern to control the number of circles in the sketch. The pitch circle defines the location of the circles being varied and will also control the number of sketch instances and the angle of placement. This flexibility in creating this pattern provides optimal drainage for this colander. The spikes in the sole of the shoe are defined normal to the non-planar face of the sole, and they vary in position, size, and rotation. For this case, we're patterning three features, and their position is controlled with a 3D sketch and a plane that is normal to the sole. The table controls the XY position, the spike length, and rotation angle. Being able to position these directly from the graphics area is extremely handy to achieve the proper location. This example controls the position and definition of a spline to provide an equally spaced but varying shaped tread pattern as it goes from heel to toe. It also varies the depth of the cut to provide the best support and flexibility of the sole. With the power and flexibility of this new variable pattern feature, SolidWorks 2015 users will have many more options when creating complex geometry.